Welcome to Stories to Inspire, where we share the untold stories of courage and resilience from Israel. Today, we'll explore a shocking decision made by Hamas. Why did they murder the hostages in their hands? And how should Israel respond to such ruthless tactics? Dr. Moti Kedar, an expert in Arab culture and Islamic groups, sheds light on this difficult question. Dr. Kedar served for 25 years in Israeli military intelligence, where he gained in-depth knowledge of groups like Hamas, who use terror as their primary tool of warfare. Dr. Kedar says the following: Hamas sees hostages as currency, not as people. When they believe they can no longer gain anything by keeping hostages alive, they simply murder them. This was not just an act of violence, it was a message to Israel. Dr. Kedar explains that Israel had captured Hamas fighters in a tunnel, and during their interrogation, these fighters provided intelligence about the location of more tunnels used by Hamas. With this information, Israel began a targeted operation to free more hostages. But when Hamas realized that Israel was closing in, they made the horrific decision to kill the captives before Israel could rescue them. Dr. Kedar says the following: the fighters in the tunnel knew Israel was about to carry out a rescue without making any concessions. So, rather than letting their captives be freed without a deal, they killed them. It was a brutal message that said, if you don't negotiate with us, more will die. Dr. Kedar explains that Hamas's strategy goes beyond violence. They aim to create chaos in Israel by fueling protests, dividing society, and weakening the government. Every action they take, including the murder of hostages, is designed to play on Israel's emotions and force difficult decisions. So how should Israel respond to such tactics? Dr. Kedar's advice is simple. Israel must respond from a position of strength. Hamas must not be allowed to dictate the terms of any negotiation or operation. When Israel negotiates with an enemy like Hamas, it cannot show weakness, says Dr. Kedar. Hamas thrives on Israel's emotional responses and internal divisions. Israel must send a clear and unshakable message. We will not yield to your threats. In this case, Dr. Kedar believes that Israel made a strategic mistake by continuing negotiations without first demanding a complete list of who Hamas had captured. Hamas has consistently refused to reveal who they're holding, which allows them to manipulate Israel, keeping some hostages hidden and using them as bargaining chips. Dr. Kedar says the following: Hamas plays psychological games. They might say, we have X number of captives, but in reality they hold even more. They hide this to maintain leverage. Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, keeps some hostages close as a personal insurance policy, knowing it reduces the chances of Israel targeting him. As Dr. Kedar emphasizes, Israel must stay focused on its mission. The war against Hamas is not just a military conflict, but also a battle for the psychological upper hand. The more resolute Israel remains, the less power Hamas has to manipulate. Dr. Kedar says the following: Hamas must understand that Israel will not stop. We will continue our operations until we eliminate the threat they pose, and we will do this from a position of strength, not fear. Dr. Kedar's message is clear. Hamas relies on Israel showing weakness, but Israel's strength and unity are what will protect its people. The Israeli government, military, and citizens must remain firm in the face of these horrors. If you found Dr. Kedar's insights valuable and want to hear more about the incredible stories of Israel's resilience, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Share this video with your friends and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.